On the field is back to business for Arsenal this weekend in the Premier League, as Mikel Arteta looks to continue our great start. But off the field, there's plenty of more business too, as Edu Gaspar remains busy in the final weeks of the window. Today we'll get an update from David Ornstein on a potential new wide forward. Let's also get the latest on Nicolas Pepe's proposed return to Ligue 1, and the tactics and team news as Arsenal take on Scotty Parker's newly promoted Bournemouth. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boy's channel. Don't forget to smash a like as always and subscribe if you are new. Your boy has got an announcement, and that is this year I will be going for the Football Content Awards. And the three categories are the best in Premier League club content, the best football content creator in general, and also the best in video. Your boy is trying to win some trophies for the channel unlike the club down the lane, so listen, all you have to do is go down into the description and there are links to 3 different Instagram posts where all you have to do is use your boy's Babs14 in the comments to vote, and let's win some trophies for this channel. We're moving into the latest Arsenal transfer news, and we're going to start off with the departure of Nicolas Pepe. As per the very reliable Santi Auna of Foot Mercato, Pepe's loan to Nice is progressing very well. Santi says one thing, but also in terms of other more reliable sources when it comes to Nice. According to Nice Matin, the Nice decision makers also hope to quickly complete the loan of Nicolas Pepe. And you also have sources within the UK, we're talking Gary Jacobs of The Times, claim that Nicolas Pepe is closing into a loan move and that Arsenal are expected to subsidise some of Pepe's 140k a week wages at the French club. Nice have made some bold transfers this season, the likes of Aaron Ramsey, Kasper Schmeichel, but there's no chance in 1 million years that they were going to pay Pepe's £140,000 a week wages, so I think Arsenal are going to pay half of those, and most importantly get a player out of the door, open up a space and hopefully sign their own winger. In fact, according to David Ornstein, as talks for Pepe's transfer to Nice continues, signing a wider player is Arsenal's primary focus between now and the end of the window. So the priority is not a central midfielder, not a centre back, but it is a wide forward. But as Mikel Arteta said today in his press conference, we only want to bring top quality through the door. If not, it's not worth it. Arsenal have a very clear plan and very clear targets, but they also understand that at this stage of the transfer market, if they can't afford their main signings, they don't want to panic buy. Us Arsenal fans often want signings sometimes for the sake of signings, but Arsenal themselves want to sign players that improve the first team squad, and there's names out there. There is truth behind the links of Yeremy Pino and Cody Gakpo, and as we close into the final weeks of the market, there's always going to be more surprise opportunities and surprising transfers. The prime example right now is Manchester United and Casemiro, a transfer that no one was talking about, and then out of nowhere he is now officially a Manchester United player. There will be opportunities on the market, and then it is down to Arsenal for them to decide if those opportunities are worth taking up. But also in the same press conference, when Mikel Arteta was asked about Gabriel Jesus, he said that top teams need top goal scorers, but not only one, ideally 3. We do have Gabriel Jesus, but even Jesus isn't a proven Premier League goal scorer in the sense of 20 goals a season. Eddie Nketiah, Martinelli, Saka, they're improving, but in terms of guaranteed goals, there's a very easy argument to be made that Arsenal still need another top goal scorer, or at least a goal threat, to maximise Arsenal's chances of returning to the Champions League. And when it comes to contributing to goals, Cody Gakpo has been on fire, assisting and scoring 7 goals in 6 appearances for PSV in the start for this season. But it looks like Arsenal have massive competition and serious competition, as Jason Burke confirms that Man United will turn to PSV's Cody Gakpo after having their €80 million bid for Anthony turned down by Ajax. Arsenal have always appreciated Cody Gakpo but never firmed up their interest, whereas in terms of Man United, they are actually now making moves, opening negotiations, direct contacts between PSV, and if Ajax don't accept their stupid £80 million bid for Anthony, then as Fabrizio Romano has also confirmed, Cody Gakpo is their alternative. The links to Yeremy Pino have also kind of calmed down, and apart from that, there aren't that many other wide forwards that Arsenal are being linked to. Even though though I still expect for Arsenal to sign a brand new wide forward, they might just have to look from within. As via Charles Watt, Mikel Arteta has confirmed that Marquinhos will stay at the club. He won't be going out on loan, certainly not this summer. Let's not forget that when Arsenal initially signed Marquinhos, all of the reports were claiming that a loan transfer was the most likely outcome. For him to be staying at the Emirates Stadium is a bit of a surprise, but not just that. He wasn't involved for Arsenal in the last game for the academy, and in today's press conference Mikel Arteta said he has played with the under-23s before and we have decided that he did not need to play again. And now it's very important to note, is he going to be a part of the Arsenal matchday squad against Bournemouth on the weekend? Having got the 4 goals and assists in his 2 appearances for the Arsenal academy, it looks like Marquinhos has caught the eyes of Mikel Arteta, and maybe he is going to be our backup to Bukayo Saka if Pepe departs and Arsenal don't sign a brand new wide forward. And you even had Granit Xhaka say recently, he reminds me of Gabby Martinelli when he first came. Everyone was saying, yeah, he will go to the under-23s first, but how Gabby adapted at this level was unbelievable, and I have the same feeling with Marquinhos as well. Marquinhos is turning heads behind the scenes, and I don't expect him to be a starter, but especially in games in the Europa League. And if Bukayo Saka needs a replacement in the 80th minute, let's wait and see if Arteta is ready to settle with Marquinhos as his backup forward going into the rest of the season. But talking about right wingers, you also had Fabio Vieira starting there in his first game for the Arsenal academy, and today in his press conference Mikel Arteta has said his versatility is something which caught our eye. He is going to give us a lot of options. Many Arsenal fans have the idea that Fabio Vieira is going to be our number 8, and at one stage of the season we are going to see Martin Odegaard, Fabio Vieira and Thomas Partey in the same midfield. But it's also worth pointing out that as it stands, Fabio Vieira is a very slight figure. He isn't physically imposing enough, and to play in the midfield in one of the hardest leagues in the world when it comes to physicality, you could argue that he's not quite ready as it stands to play in central midfield. And maybe at this stage of his development, Arteta sees Vieira as better fit as a right winger. In fact, according to Kaya Kayanak, Arteta requested for Vieira to play on the right hand side for the under-21s. In the long term, I still think Arsenal's plan is to play Fabio Vieira as a number 8 in a 4-3-3, or throwing Vieira into the deep end and playing in the midfield can be very demanding. Potentially when we see a more tactically up-to-date Vieira, who's also better physically, we could see Arteta transitioning from a right winger into a central midfielder. But on the topic of number 8 profiles, according to Team News and Ticks, Youri Tielemans will not be in the lineup for Leicester tomorrow. This source is normally pretty reliable, especially when it comes to lineups. Leicester will play Southampton this weekend, so let's wait and see if Tielemans does start, because right now there is a lot of uncertainty at the King Power. Not just the future of Youri Tielemans, but also Wesley Fofana, who is reportedly also not going to be involved in this game, as all the potential rumours of a transfer to Chelsea loom over his head. Let's keep our eye on Youri Tielemans, and if he is not involved, it might be down to a potential transfer, so as always, let's keep our eye on it and wait and see. Moving on to Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Our gargantuan institution is back in action this weekend as we try to make it 3 wins out of 3, maximise our points and continue our title charge towards the Premier League. Maybe a bit too soon for that, but in terms of the opponents, it is Scott Parker's newly promoted Bournemouth, who going into this game have only won 1 out of the last 5 games. In comparison, Arsenal have won 5 out of their last 5, and alongside Man City, we are the only team that has maximum points in the first 2 games. And Bournemouth is never an easy game, especially going to their stadium. It can be tough, and over the years, Arsenal fans might remember we've had some very tough games there. But in terms of recent form, Arsenal are actually undefeated in their last 5 games against Bournemouth, winning 4 and drawing 1. And going into this game, Bournemouth have a massive injury doubt, as Scott Parker will look to make a late call on Dominic Solanke. So not the best of news for Bournemouth, but in comparison to Arsenal, Mikel Arteta has confirmed that everybody is available for the weekend. As you saw, Cedric, Fabio and Emil played with the under-21s and they look fit. They trained all week with us and they are available for selection. So a fully fit Arsenal squad. It's things you absolutely love to see. Fingers crossed, touch wood, long may that continue. At the same time, it gives Mikel a massive selection dilemma. Who exactly is he going to pick in his starting 11? Well, I think it's going to be a pretty much unchanged team, with Ramsdale in goal, the back four of Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba and incoming Tomiyasu, a midfield three of Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard and a front three of Martinelli, Jesus and Bukayo Saka. The one change is Tomiyasu for Ben White, and to explain that, I don't think that Ben White was at his best against Leicester, and ultimately Tomiyasu is now fit, he's available and match fit as well. He is the better right back, the more natural right back, and with the squad depth that Arsenal now have, we can now afford to drop a player that was a guaranteed first team starter last season. It just goes to show how far this Arsenal squad has come, and more importantly that we have options. And this quote of Zinchenko speaking on Tierney sums it all up, saying that he is an amazing player. Even when I was at Man City, I was watching his games. We are going to push each other, and I think that's the key. The most important thing is that both of us want to try and help the team as much as we can. Ben White is an amazing player, Kieran Tierney is an amazing player, but with the options that Arsenal have as it stands, we are allowed to rotate. We don't have to force players to start if they're not playing good, and ultimately if Ben White is dropped, he has to take it in a positive manner. He now has to fight for his position, and if he wants to make it into this Arsenal first team, in training sessions or whenever he starts for Arsenal, he has to be in tip-top form. This is how you breed a competitive environment, and if Arsenal want to reach the standards of City, of Liverpool, we need to have an ultra-competitive squad that understands that if they don't put in the best of performances, there's a player behind them that can take their place. This game is also going to be a very interesting tactical affair. Scott Parker's teams normally play a 3-5-2, and like the three at the back teams, Arsenal in the past have not had the best of records, but over the second half of last season, especially against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, Arteta showcased that he has his own version of a back three that can turn into a back four, where you have Bukayo Saka playing as a wing back in the defensive phase, but then going forwards Arsenal move back into the back four and allow Bukayo to play as an out and out winger. My friends, talk to me down below in the comments your own thoughts going into the game, and most importantly, what are your matchday predictions? Moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with the future of Hector Bellerin, a transfer saga that has elongated, become a little bit boring, and things have kind of moved on in different directions. As Matteo Moretto says, the Hector Bellerin is waiting for Real Betis to make a move for him, or Barcelona, who are still an option but have other priorities at right back. However, today, Udinese are a team that could make a move now. So two other teams have entered the fray, and so far, despite reports claiming it, Arsenal have not terminated the contract of Bellerin. Potentially, Arsenal have seen the other interests of the other teams and will try to use that as leverage in negotiations and try to collect some sort of transfer fee for the player. And if that doesn't happen, then you always have the option of terminating the player's contract and letting him go on free instead. But talking on the Arsenal attack, they rank first in terms of XG created so far in the Premier League this season, above Liverpool and Chelsea. Arsenal are scoring more goals but also making better chances, and that's the key part. Last season, in comparison to Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City and even Spurs, we have taken it to a brand new level. A very important reason behind that is our brand new number 9 in Gabriel Jesus. And here is a comparison of Jesus' heat map against Leicester compared to Alexandre Lacazette last season. Well, Lacazette looks like a bit of a slug. Jesus is all over the place, left, right and centre, and that fluidity is not only causing mayhem but also unpredictability, because if you are the opposition team, then how on earth are you meant to mark that? According to David Ornstein, the Cronkies were waiting to gain full ownership of Arsenal, and once it happened, you could see them putting more of their money. Partey's release clause was paid, there was the Pepe signing, Arsenal fans were singing spend some money, and that's what Arsenal are doing now. And for the first few years under Unai Emery, Raul Sanllehi, there wasn't a clear plan, but now under Arteta, Edu Gaspar, say whatever you want about them, but they do have a very clear idea of what they want and they're trying to execute that. And most importantly, they also have the backing of the Arsenal ownership, as back-to-back years Arsenal have spent over £100 million. Let's talk about the Arsenal ownership down below in the comments. What are your honest thoughts on Josh and Stan Kroenke as the future long-term owners of Arsenal Football Club? But that is the video there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, don't forget to smash a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Don't forget to vote for your boy for the Football Content Awards. All the details are down below in the description. But that was today's episode of the Transfers FC, and now all the focus is on Bournemouth. Can Arsenal make it 3 wins in a row, maximise their points? We're gonna have to wait and see. But until then, take care of yourselves and have a bit.